TV's still, always on, so.
Hit record.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna open the meeting of the zoning board of appeals. We're gonna start by doing the pledge of allegiance. Everybody stand, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get too deep into this meeting, I just want to point out, you may notice that this area here has changed a little bit. We're going to be using the Jim Aguiar and Nancy Pinto and Don Hershey will be moving down here, effective, I think, right after Thanksgiving. They're going to move all their stuff down here. They're going to. We have a new town administrator who will start December 4th, I believe, and she'll be going into that office upstairs. This will change once we get moved over to the old town hall, the Grange, which may be in January, maybe a little later. So we're going to, probably our next meeting might be in the sewer department or some other area down here, or possibly in the selectman's office upstairs.
Okay.
We won't be able to have it down here, so that's why you see that. That's the food bank over there, and they're gonna put the 3 desks in this area here, so it's a temporary thing. On the new business, it's an old case. I'm gonna talk about Stonegate, but I did send a letter to the sewer department, so I guess that's new, so I'm gonna do that now. As you know, there's 2 phases in Stonegate, and they have to, before these start phase 2, they have to put a pumping station in, and they've got 10 houses left in phase 1. They put 6 houses before the 10 houses. They put these valves in when they should have already had the pumping station. They should have been connected directly to the pumping station. But they were given permission by the sewer department to temporarily put these in. So the people representing Stonegate, Mr. Fedorov, had asked the sewer commission if they could put these valves in for the rest of those 10 houses, and they denied that.
These are pumps, right?
These are, there was some kind of a valve, a smaller pump. Each
Each house has its own pump.
would have its own pump, and each homeowner would be responsible for that versus the bigger pump. But he's also indicated to them that he wasn't going to complete phase 2, which I believe is 19 houses. I spoke to our attorney Marguerite, and as a result of that, I sent this letter to the sewer department, and I was present at the meeting. Dear Chairman, I have spoken to our attorney for the Zoning Board of Appeals. She has indicated to me that the comprehensive permit requires the construction of 2 phases by Stonegate Landing LLC. If there are any changes to be approved to the approved plans, this needs to be brought back to the ZBA. This would constitute a modification to the permit. Only the ZBA, as the permit granting authority, can authorize any change. I will bring this letter to our next Board of Appeals meeting in November to get the full support of the board. Thank you. So after he was denied that, Mr. Fedorov went back before the sewer commission and asked if he could put a smaller pump in. We had already agreed on the size. Our engineer checked it out, phase 1 and 2. But he says, I'm not gonna complete phase 2, I just wanna put a smaller one in. So as a result of that information that I received, I went to their meeting and gave them this letter here, so they can't make any changes. They've gotta complete phase 2 unless we give them approval not to complete
He's
phase 2.
obligated by law.
Obligated by law, but we can change it, we can approve a change, but that's also, in my opinion anyway, a substantial, major change.
We open.
So he was gonna come before the meeting tonight and public input and kind of explain to us what he wants to do. Now he's saying, when I had a conversation with the other day, that he's gonna put the bigger pump in now. The problem with that is that if he puts the bigger pump in and doesn't do phase 2, the size of the piping may be different because you're pushing sewage, the bigger the pipe, is for more sewage, but if you don't put that extra sewage in, then the pressure is different. So, I'm not convinced that he should be putting a bigger pumping station in and then not doing phase 2, so.
Right, well,
So he's asking for a modification, and they're gonna come back before us now and ask for that change. You have a question?
well, the thing about what you said, if he puts a pumping station in it, it's in preparation of a possible second phase. The pumping station itself would be able to be reduced down to a pipe size that would be adequate for the thing, so that later on, they can take that adapter out and go to a bigger size if it became that necessary, because like, if he's not gonna do phase two, someone else is gonna wanna connect them, because the sewage pumping station, the sewage is to that point. And he needs to put the adequate one, I would think,
Yeah, I
and,
mean,
they can reduce it down.
but the piping's already in the road,
Right,
certain
that,
size pipe.
that isn't
so
gonna
that's-
change, but it'd be the
Yeah.
pump itself. But he would, there has to be a way to modify it, cause it's like anything else. If you put it in bigger to start off with, as opposed to having a bigger pumper station, maybe put that on the, if anybody was to go further with this project, it might not be a 40B, it could be just a plain development. Cause the road is in and the infrastructure's there. Could
So
go
it
right
could,
down Main Street.
so it could be 6 houses versus the 19
Right.
houses, so that's something we have to take into consideration, but our engineer as well as, the sewer department's engineer, sure, will
just
take
have
a
to
look
hear
at this, and, but they can't do anything now. They can't build, he's got 10 houses left, like I said, in, phase one, he can't do anything with that because he has to have the pumping station in.
And as it should be, I mean, that's what we can put it in
And,
there for.
and if he doesn't plan on doing phase two, which he indicated to me he wasn't, then he needs to come before the board and we have to decide.
Well, to me, it's constitutes a major change, because now you're putting the burden on the homeowner that's there, which we had tried to prevent, which would have been all on the sewer department. They would have to be the ones that maintain the sewer, it would be part of their taxes and the sewer bill. They'll still be taxed as the sewage there, and have to maintain the pumps. I don't know,
Yes.
it's complicated.
So we'll be coming back, before us, I'm not sure when, I don't think it's gonna be December, most likely, in January, so. Everybody okay with the letter that I sent to the, sewer
I
department?
wanna submit it as minutes. Yep.
I'd like to submit it as minutes, you have a copy of that, can
I
put
do.
that in the minutes?
Should I make a motion?
You can make a motion,
I make a motion, we submit this letter in the minutes.
is there a second?
A second?
Any discussion on the letter? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposed. Old business, we're gonna, review, discuss, and act on case 09-17, this is 281 Tremont Street. This was a case where, we made a decision, we denied the petition, and they then appealed it to, court, and now it's gonna be remanded back to us. The question that I was asked, was that if it comes back here, are we willing to waive fees? The petitioner wants us to waive the abutters fee, which is $171.34. The Gazette, which is $281.52, and the cost of the town, which, that total is $452.86, as well as the fee of $750. My personal opinion is, we should make them pay the abutters fee, we should make them pay the Gazette fee,
I agree.
but we may wanna consider, not charging an additional,
I agree.
fee of $750. Now, I did indicate, to the petition, before I appealed it, that we would be willing to hear the case again and have no fee. It'd have to be posted and let us be notified, but there would be no fee. He chose to appeal it. But it is coming back to us anyway. And the same voting members will be voting on it. It's Jason, it's Zach, and it's you, Bob.
Yep.
Assuming you're here, everybody's here at the meeting when we, this case comes.
So they had originally paid the,
They pay the $750 to pay the Gazette.
It's all gonna be done
The
again.
abutters.
Right.
But they've
Right.
gotta now notify the abutters again, they've
Yep.
gotta notify the Gazette, and they would normally have to pay another
Gotcha.
$750, but they were asking them to waive all the fees. My personal feeling is, we make them pay the Gazette, make them pay the abutters,
Yes.
but the fee itself, $750, I'm not opposed to waiving that, so.
Can I add something to that, Ken?
Sure.
I'm on board with Ken, and the reason I feel that way is because as the board, we can, waive the fee to appeal to us, but the fees for the abutters and the fee for the Gazette, I don't think we have the authority to allocate the cost to the town.
Right.
And, it should fall upon him to, and like, at $176, there's gotta be close to 30 abutters, they need to be notified.
Yeah.
And that cost, that should fall upon him,
Yeah.
and that's my feeling on that.
no, I agree with that.
I agree with that too, because one of my reasons for making my decision was not having the abutter support, so I definitely feel like that,
Sure.
Let them know again.
yes, absolutely, 100%,
Yeah.
There
absolutely.
might
Well,
be
they would-
evidence introduced that we didn't have the first time.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, well, the abutters have to be notified either way. The question is whether we
We're
pay
gonna
for
pay
Right,
for it now.
right.
which, why would we put that burden on ourselves?
Yeah, but would it be the zoning board of the town, Ken? That's my
I
question.
think it will come out of one of our So it's not costing us anything by waiving the $750 fee.
Right, it's costing us.
This would cost us $452.86, so, did you make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we, waive the, filing fee, is that petition fee?
Petition fee only.
Petition fee only, that the cost for the, notification of the butters and the Taunton Gazette would fall upon the petition.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion on that motion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The Wellington Street, we've already voted on this, and now we're just gonna sign this case. I've already signed it. Bob, you've gotta sign it, and Jason's gonna sign this.
Is it 3 copies? Or just one?
There's just one, but
Just one copy
you
though.
just signed it.
And this goes to Jason, right?
Yeah.
Jason is in place of Peter, right? Because Peter was part of that last one. First time. he did.
Peter
Yeah,
was the
first time, yes,
original.
but he didn't vote on it the last time.
Jason was in place.
Yeah, Jason, I don't think he was.
Hey, answer.
Thanks, sir.
That man right there.
C, review, discuss, and act on the conflict of interest law for municipal employees. Has everybody reviewed that, and have you signed the back page?
Yep.
Everybody review and sign the conflict of interest?
Yes, I did.
And sign the back page. You wanna give me those?
There's both of them, both?
Yeah.
Is this something we have to sign every year? I would imagine.
Usually. I don't know if it's one every year or a
Or
couple
two or
of
something like
Just
that.
give that to me. Thank you.
Every other year, we have to do a thing online too.
Yeah, that,
And you have to be sworn in every year too.
some of us are sworn at.
Yeah, sworn in.
That's every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
She'll be notifying you down at
Okay.
I mean, I thought it was for life, you take a note for me.
Yeah, because I haven't, I've been,
You're on record here now, be careful.
Yes. So, the next one, D, review and discuss and act on a certificate of receipt of open meeting law material. You've had a copy of that. You've all given me copies of it, signing that you received it. Public input. We don't have any public here. I just wanna mention though that, shortly, as a result of, town meeting that we had recently, the grade and the grade has increased for Ross's position. She is now the office manager. But by agreement, that job's gonna be posted, it'll be posted soon. Also, the Board of Health job will be posted. Board of Health job is at 30 hours, ours is at 20 hours, position, both grade 6. And that'll be posted soon, so we're going to be posting it in-house as well as probably, putting it on, Facebook. So, people from the public can also, apply to it, not necessarily just town employees.
Tell it all.
Show movies now?
Yeah.
Numbers, yep,
We're gonna be losing Ross?
that would be her, she would have to answer that question, answer it.
Conservation?
She's been a valued employee for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish we could have given her more hours.
We're gonna approve the minutes.
We're gonna approve the minutes. Everybody had an opportunity to read, the minutes?
Yes.
Is there a motion? I've asked him not to vote on this because he wasn't a member of this board here. By the way, I should introduce him, Ryan's. I'm sorry about that. Our newest member of the zoning board of appeals. I know he's been very quiet over there, but you will soon find that he's not that quiet. He's just,
his reputation precedes him.
yes.
Thanks, fellas.
But welcome aboard, Tim. The Board of Selectmen have appointed him as our newest member. We were short for a little while. We had 2 applicants, and then one, after the conversation I had with that person, withdrew, so I didn't wanna wait any longer. And I've asked the board to appoint him, and I'm sure he's gonna be well qualified for this position. He's been on several other boards. He's well-known in town, and he'll treat each case fairly, so.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, Jim. I look forward to working with you, and Roz, of course, also.
And we do agree to disagree.
Absolutely.
We don't mind disagreements.
No? It's good for education for all of us.
So, everybody's read the minutes, any changes or anything, corrections that you need on the minutes? I'll entertain a motion then.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes of the last month's meeting.
Somebody will second that,
I'll second.
any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no opposed.
You know, they still have time, I can only find out if the minutes allow us to.
So, anything else that anybody wants to bring up to the board?
A question, is this updated?
No,
That is not updated.
Cause I know it's November 2006 on
I
it.
was passing them out a couple of weeks ago, you can't read them, the writing is too small on them.
Oh, okay.
So that, Bob requested that we have the older ones, so they do not have every street in town on there, but you can read it.
Okay, I
So you're gonna get most of
I
it.
still had mine from before, that's why I didn't know if I, what.
Yeah, nope, it's not updated, it's
And with
just,
my magnification,
Just,
I still couldn't read it.
I couldn't read it either.
So,
Thank you.
so what are they gonna do about that though? Are they gonna, we need an updated one.
It's been 10 years, it's been 10 years, yeah.
If not longer.
The updated one doesn't really do you any good because you can't read it.
So how do they, it's how it's printed. Your printer can be, you can adjust it. You know more about this than I do.
Right, but the actual map that we can print off Map Geo is what I had for you guys, that we can't make that print any bigger. Basically what everyone is doing is they're using the internet, they're going on Map Geo and looking at the individual property and properties right around it, not the whole
No, can I
street.
write that down? It's mapgeo.com?
Yep.
It's a pretty nice little tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty well.
I assume it's free.
What is it again? Map-geo,
Yep.
M-A-P?
Yep.
G-E-O?
GEO,
Yep.
yep, / Dayton,
Which way, left or right? Doesn't matter, right?
Backslash,
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
backslash.
and then it says, there'll be a little square box where it says search, you just put the address in there.
Okay, search and address. No, let me do this again. Map-geo, right / Dayton?
Yep.
Okay, 'cause I wanna check this out.
It's actually a really good tool, Bob, you can put in zoning and it'll
spots.
show it, it'll show floodplain, wetlands, it's a really good tool.
I
Why
use
would
it when I
somebody
go
miss
hunting,
that?
so I know I'm not on
You
the
don't
person's
think
property.
Bob wanted one?
It's a good, true.
No, I'm
it's
just
a
saying,
good
do
tool.
I mean-
For everybody.
They have an app now that to tell you wind direction and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
taking all the worry out of being close.
Well, it's not fair to the deer.
So if I send you something.
Why? They know wind direction.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
They can smell rain. They got a lot going for them. I can smell.
Oh, Stonegate's on here though.
Especially on a hot day.
Stone,
I can't believe it's been.
it's been a long time, Stonegate.
That's what made me first after it was updated. I'm like, oh, Stonegate's on here. It can't be that old. But then I was like, oh wait,
It's
no.
old. Well,
It's
Stonegate
old,
was,
huh?
Stonegate was
I
our
was-
second 40B.
I was in-
That's probably why it's.
Eighth
Albuquerque
grade.
was canonized first. The one across the street here, not Stonegate, was a 40B, but it was years before we did this. Was it the Orchard?
We never did the orchard.
We didn't, no.
Yeah, that's not a 40B, I don't know what it is, but it's not a 40B.
Well, they told us it was.
It's
Okay,
not- it's not.
I don't know enough, I
I
don't have
remember
enough
Joe telling us that it
information.
wasn't.
Okay. But I know that the first 40B, no one's even dug a hole yet. That was the one we discussed last week, I can't think of the name of it now.
Streets now.
What is that up there?
So, anything else?
Albuquerque. No,
Entertain another motion to,
I motion to adjourn.
a second,
A second.
any discussion? All in favor say aye.
All right,
Opposed?
we're all done, thank you.
December 20th.